uJesu ngumalusi wezimpilo zethu, usiphathele zona, kufanele simdumise. uJesu ngumalusi wezimpilo zethu, usiphathele zona, kufanele simdumise. uJesu wathi mina ngingumalusi omuhle, ezami izimvu ngiyazazi, ngizibiza ngamagama, ngiziholele emadlelweni aluhlaza, nasemanzini okuphumula. Azisweli azilambi, ngingumalusi omuhle. uJesu wathi mina ngingumalusi omuhle, ezami izimvu ngiyazazi, ngizibiza ngamagama, ngiziholele emadlelweni aluhlaza, nasemanzini okuphumula. Azisweli azilambi, ngingumalusi omuhle. uJesu ngumalusi wezimpilo zethu, usiphathele zona, kufanele simdumise. uJesu ngumalusi wezimpilo zethu, usiphathele zona, kufanele simdumise. uJesu wathi mina ngingumalusi omuhle, ezami izimvu ngiyazazi, ngizibiza ngamagama, ngiziholele emadlelweni aluhlaza, nasemanzini okuphumula. Azisweli azilambi, ngingumalusi omuhle. uJesu wathi mina ngingumalusi omuhle, ezami izimvu ngiyazazi, ngizibiza ngamagama, ngiziholele emadlelweni aluhlaza, nasemanzini okuphumula. Azisweli azilambi, ngingumalusi omuhle. Azisweli azilambi, azisweli azilambi, azisweli azilambi, ngingumalusi omuhle. Azisweli azilambi, azisweli azilambi, azisweli azilambi, ngingumalusi omuhle. Ungumalusi omuhle. Siyabonga Jesu, ungumalusi
Yebo, yes. Yebo, yes, usho kanjalo Queen of the Palace ukuthi uJesu ngumalusi wezimpilo zethu. I love the song so much. It takes me to another level of glory. Sinjalo ke sisho njalo sithi Car Radio, we are with you and we believe that you are well, you are blessed and highly favored. And this is the day that the Lord has made. uLwesihlanu, weather is beautiful, even though maphumela emnyango umoya uyashisa. Abafana bami, they were experiencing this for the first time, but mawenze njani ngithi it is what it is. Sometimes iweather izenzela into eyithandayo, so umoya uyashisa, and abanye ba complain ukuthi it's uncomfortable ukuhlala kuwona because obviously ku-uncomfortable because ungaphezulu kwe temperature kufanele esijwayela ngisho njalo. But again, noma kunjalo ke we are enjoying life. Sithanda ukubingelela abasibukayo manje, kuyintokozo ukuthi nisijoyinile namhlanje egameni lika Jesu Kristu waseNazaretha, and you are keeping safe. Siyazi ukuthi la KZN la sikhona, siyazi ukuthi la sikhona KZN ukuthi i-coronavirus has increased, and siya uthini lapha yana umbodlo uthi khofa dokotela chaza ukuthini lokho mbodlo uthini anga understand ukuthi uthini ongichazela mfethu ukuthi uthini lapho ngiyazi khofa phela ngibuye ngibe mdala mina ngingazazi izinto ezishoyo manje so asinakekeleni ke, and also siyazi kuya vaccinators. Ngizwile ukuthi abantu abasha they are so excited about the vaccination and they are going in numbers, and umuntu decision yakhe bandla kungabi khona umuntu o embarrass omunye umuntu no tshela omunye umuntu ukuthi wrong ngani. Umuntu agenze lento ayikholwayo, agenze into ayimelayo egameni lika Jesu. And also I know ukuthi khona abanye kade bama anti-vaccinators, but we are not putting this thing in our body quickly. So yabona abantu baya vaccinate. I would like to say those who are having those negativities, I'm not going to tell you ukuthi mina nginjani, but those who have been vocal about being negative, when you change your mind, I think it will be a good thing to do. Ukuthi please phela tshela abantu ukuthi you've changed your mind rather than to go behind the back, because the ego loyalty lapho. So it's okay to think something else, and then when you change your mind to declare ukuthi you know what, I thought this was the path that I'm supposed to go, but I've changed my mind. I'm deciding to turn around and take this path. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind, but what is wrong is to deceive. So let's hope abantu ade be vocal nakade be commenta kwabanye bebagxeka, they are going to be vocal also when they've changed their mind. Really appreciate that egameni lika Jesu Kristu. Amen and amen. So today we are going to be talking about part number 2, where procrastination is kade sikhulumile last time. I'm not going to do a recap. You can go to Monday's program and do a recap, because if I can start doing a recap, then ngiyathanda ukukhuluma and ngiyathanda overemphasize, then I will lose time. But kukhona ne video that I would like to play lamhlanje concerning what I will share today. So procrastination, and as we talked about last time, ukuthi asikhulume ukuthi what is now a solution, sifinyelela kanjani ke kwi solution. And then we talked about ekutheni before sifike kwi solution, as I promised you last time, before sifike kwi ngivule islide esirong lana, but okay, let me just fast forward because okay, all right. So procrastination is very complex. As we told you, we discussed that there are people who are chronic procrastinators. It comes in many different shapes, and its roots can go way back. It also discussed that ungabona umuntu procrastinator manje, but its root comes way back from izinto ezenzekile the time umuntu ekhula. It's not just a fact that to decide to I'm procrastinating manje just because I don't want to do what I'm supposed to do. It's an unconscious decision, it's a subconscious decision. So then there is no one fit all solution. We are going to discuss that as we go on. 20% of the population admit that they are a chronic procrastinator. That means 1 in every 5 people, 1 person want about 5, but we procrastinator. So niyabona ukuthi we have a serious problem yokuthi there are people who are supposed to do things that end up not doing it. Sikhulumile ukuthi yini ekhoza abantu unconsciously ukuthi ba procrastinate. Everything can be solved with willpower. So before we can talk about ama solution, let us talk about willpower, because abanye abantu banalokho ukuthi where ama procrastinators is just that they don't have willpower, they are lazy people, but that is not true. Everything can be solved by willpower, because willpower is what determines whether we are going to be successful in life or not. But for procrastinators, it's a very painful thing. But let us define what willpower is before I can go on. Willpower is the ability to delay gratification. So now, okay, it is our self-control that help us resist distracting impulses and persevere. So willpower, you know what? I will delay gratification. I should be enjoying myself now, but I know what I need to do this thing, and then I will enjoy later. Willpower is the ability to resist short-term temptations in order to meet long-term goals. But willpower, if it does not come naturally, it is dangerous to the body. It shortens the lifespan. So for a procrastinator, it is difficult, it is painful to apply a willpower. So discuss why. But for willpower, for some umuntu, if apply willpower, if it doesn't come naturally to you, then you are making yourself suffer most of the time. And when you are making yourself suffer and you are suffering most of the time, end of the day is that your life will be short. Okay. Let us think about the iceberg model that we talked about last time. What the iceberg model, there is a little bit of ice on top, which is behavior, emotions, the things that you do, and underneath is subconscious mind that drives the drivers that drive your behavior. So the visible part of the iceberg is our conscious self, what we do, like as I'm speaking to you right now. The one who ultimately decide what to do based on the suggestion bubbling up from our own unconscious section. So our unconscious section creates our drivers, and the conscious part, that is where we decide to do based on what the drivers are saying. But most of the time, because it's unconscious, we never know that there's something else driving that, but we see ourselves doing what we do, whereas this cut is not that obvious. Conscious self is the seat of willpower. So what do we mean by that? Is that willpower conscious is that little voice that speaks to you. It will make sense. So that little voice that says, you know what, I need to be waking up at 5, and then even no mumzimba uthi mina ngifuna ukulala, and then that voice says, you know what, wake up because uzoba late, and then uthola ukuthi ke umuntu uzovuka because he's thinking ahead ukuthi if I don't make a decision manje there's going to be consequences, and then uthola umuntu ukuthi leyo voice leyo iyakwazi ukusupersede, and then you do what you're supposed to do. Okay, it's that little voice in your head who has the amazing faculty of overriding older suggestion. Remember, my drivers are older suggestion, are things that we've been growing with, that we are familiar with. So those old suggestion, that willpower overrides that and say, go with something else. And then you end up doing what you're supposed to do. Okay? And right, the willpower is the power that says no now. Do something that is that is very tempting. No to do something that is very tempting. Ooh, my chips amnandi, but I know what my dealings okay any weight. So I'm saying no now and do something else that is called a delayed gratification. For a procrastinator, delayed gratification is very, very painful. It's like a procrastinator, it's in now. I want it now. I want it right now. The delay one is like, no, I want it now. So there is a experiment eyenziwa a long time ago, which is called the marshmallow experiment by Walter Mitchell. Children were asked to choose between getting a sweet reward right away or having a double portion after waiting around about 15 minutes. Kids who managed to delay gratification were believed to have stronger willed. So discuss as we go on. Can you play that video? You know what? It willpower. It plays out and it makes it so clear for us to understand willpower isebenza kanjani. And as you watch that video, understand if you are a chronic or a procrastinator, is that you know what willpower will never work and we need to use something else. Look at those children and then relate now when you are supposed to do something and you don't do it, and it's going to light the bulb in your mind. So can we go there and play? I'm not sure what so hangi, so that we are able also abazalwane bethu abasilalele online. Say right? Okay. So switch here.
Today we will talk about the marshmallow test. An interesting experiment conducted by psychologist Walter Mischel, a professor at Stanford University, which began in the 1960s. He wanted to understand how willpower and our ability to delay gratification work in our everyday life. The experiment was like this. The professor took 4-year-old children alone in a room with a marshmallow. Marshmallow is a kind of American sweet.
I want to give you a prize for having done so well. Do you like marshmallows? You do? Well, here's a marshmallow for you. You can eat it now, but if you wait until I come back, you can have 2 of them. So you can eat this now, but I'm going to go outside for a minute. When I come back, you can have 2 marshmallows if you wait.
Okay, I'll wait.
Do you think you could wait? Okay, we'll see. I'll be back in a minute. See.
Notice the body language is wonderful. Just totally looks away the whole time. Too hot. Little distraction.
Hello. You waited. You waited for me. Okay, so now you know what's going to happen. You're going to get a double treat. I'm going to give you 2 of these lovely marshmallows. You want to eat them now or save them for later? Okay, well, go ahead. A little sticky.
I've had marshmallows before.
Well, some children waited, others just ate it.
Right, you got it right. So I'm going to give you a prize. I'm going to give you a treat. And the treat is a delicious marshmallow. But if you wait, I have to go check my car. When I come back, if you wait, you can have 2 of them. You can have 1 now, or when I come back, you can have 2. Okay? Okay.
Licking her lips. Just temptation, or just capital T. Sorry.
Hello, my dear. You ate the marshmallow. Was it delicious? Do you like marshmallows?
Now, this kid is wonderful.
You don't like marshmallows?
Look at that face.
Do you like chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I love
the
chocolate.
treat you have won is a chocolate. But, if you wait till I come back, you could get 2. You could eat this now. I have to go check my car. And when I come back, if you wait, I'll give you 2 of them.
Okay.
So you can eat it now, but if you wait till I come back, you have 2. Okay? You think you could wait? Okay. So I will be back in a few minutes. So you can eat it now.
4 times.
But if you wait, you're going to have 2 of them. Okay, I'll be back soon.
I'm not out of the door. I love the little skull and crossbones. Like total boy. And he's just enjoying it, minding his own business, eating away.
Hello, I'm back.
Now listen
How are
carefully.
Good. I waited.
No, you ate it. You ate the chocolate.
Actually, 2 out of 3 kids end up eating the marshmallow before the 15 minutes are over. The interesting thing is, all of them said, "We will wait for 2 marshmallows," and some of them did wait, some of them did not. And please remember they are 4 years old, so for a 4-year-old kid to wait for 15 minutes also is torture. More than 550 children were given the marshmallow test between 1968 and 1974. After this, Walter Mischel divided the 2 groups on pen and paper, not tell the children anything. 14 years later, he went back to those children, and he found amazing differences between the 2 groups. He went and interviewed their parents, their classmates, their teachers, and he found those children, who were able to control themselves, on average did better in academics, in co-curricular activities, in sports. They were regarded as more confident, self-controlled, they are more successful, they have higher income, lower drug addiction rate, higher SAT scores, and were better at maintaining close relationships. And the other group gets significantly lower SAT scores. It's amazing, just a small thing, a little bit of self-restraint. I want to do this and I do it, and the other person says, I want to do this, but I can't do it, just this difference. How is it that our ability to delay gratification, with a simple test of willpower in childhood, can predict so much of how our lives play out? What we have in the brain, that is different from animals, is, we understand time. We understand the future. We constantly daydream, we scheme, we plot, we constantly think about what could be. Now let's experiment. Try to teach your dog or any other animal the concept of tomorrow. Try it. About the next week, the next year. And you realize, you can't. Animals live in the present. And that's what intelligence is. Intelligence is being able to map the future, simulate the future. And that's what we humans do that animals cannot. If you want to learn more about this, check out full video of Marshmallow Test and the book The Marshmallow Test by Walter Mischel by clicking the link down in the description.
It's ukuthi these kids that, like that boy nje, ukuthi he is being asked ukuthi don't touch it, wait, but umuntu engakaphumi ngisho nanokuphuma then umntwana useyawudla chocolate. We've seen this, we see this even ngathi uthola ukuthi you know you're not supposed to do this but you do it anyway. So as we go on, we are going to discuss ke manje ukuthi what is it that we need to do ukuze sikwazi ukuthi si overcome lama temptations lawa yane. So when we are using willpower, okay, bengike phike manje la hangi, I just want to look at so imeshimalo ke le experiment le kade sikhuluma ngayo ukuthi sibonile ukuthi kids who manage to delay gratification were believed to have stronger willpower. Okay, The study, however, didn't stop there. The young participation of the marshmallow test were actually subject to long-term evaluation. Over the course of 20 years, it turned out that those who were able to delay gratification as kids had better life outcomes as adults, better jobs, stable relationship, and better lifestyle. So now, if you are a procrastinator, that means you might end up not being able to achieve your dreams or fulfilling izinto ofuna ukuthi uzenze, or you may end up living a life of always working under pressure ukuthi udrive where yini and allow that pressure to always drive, which is not good for your body. I've attached links lapha that you can watch and think about this, and then think and ponder on it. What does it mean for you? Okay, so as we go on, to a procrastinator, delayed gratification is painful. Instead, they choose instant gratifications that I eat now. I know that there are implications. I know what I might be getting a marshmallow at the end, but not two marshmallow at the end, but I'm just going to eat now because I can't resist the pain of not experiencing the pleasure now. Remember when we discussed about procrastinators that some of them, they are being driven by pleasure. If it's not likable, then I'm not going to do it. So the 9 procrastination style that we identified last time, many of them really are dealing with the issues. Many of them really deal with the issue of willpower. It's not a matter of willpower. And abantu bangasho ukuthi as you lazy, funa ngabe uyayicontrol, uyakwazi ukuyicontrol. We are talking to these people who can control themselves, abane willpower, who are able to do things. Or maybe when you need to go to a place of understanding and understand ukuthi the more you bash procrastinators and make them as if they are bad people, they are not bad people. It's not a willpower thing. It's just that also you knowing this, it places you in a place of understanding. Okay, when we talk about types of procrastinators, avoiders, let's say they avoid any perceived danger. Avoiders are basically dealing with stress. Okay, so if they are dealing with stress, they have danger, of which a danger can be something that makes you uncomfortable, not necessarily an accident or a lion or whatever. So if they are dealing with stress, it is this stress that should be addressed, not a willpower. So willpower can temporarily force an avoider to comply, but it really, that when you are forcing willpower and trying to comply, you are only dealing with the symptom, not the root. So now we need to find out ukuthi yini le yakufundisa ukuthi yini le kwenza ukuthi ubuke lento oyibukayo as a perceived danger, and how can you change to perceive the thing as a perceived danger so that you go to a place of calmness. Okay. And then mase sikhuluma ngama freezers. Freezers is basically the same thing. Ne freezer nayo is perceiving a danger and then they freezes. So it's the same thing. They are dealing with a stress. Non-motivated procrastinators, when this thing doesn't motivate me, there's no joy in this thing. One of these typical people is Shalom, my son. If something does not motivate him, he's not going to do it. And like writing, he doesn't like it. If I have to write, I might as well scribble, and then I'm done. He said, no, you didn't do it well. No, ma. No, so what's the problem? So non-motivated procrastinators again, they fight symptoms here. The real issue at hand and motivation, even if you are able to force yourself to do something, you will still not like it because the problem, because inking ukuthi angikho motivated. I will do it, but I'm not motivated. I'm not liking it. And then mase kuba khona ama-rebels labe sathi bakhuliswa abantu abazali aba-authoritative who say don't do this, and then umuntu mase sengizowenza ngenkaniki ngoba usungitshenile sangakwenzi sengizokwenza, ngoba uyangitshena uyangicorrect sengizoyenza ibe wrong ke lento. So with rebels, willpower is pointless because it is their willpower that causes the procrastination. They already have plenty of it. They have plenty of willpower that I'm going to do it, but it's headed on the negative direction because they are trying to resist the authoritative power in their life. I think naming now element when you tell me and I don't like the way you're telling me, things of ngimeke and kuhlangana nokufreezer lapho angisayenzi into ishilo. And then we have low esteem. Ngeke ngize ngikuluyise, ngeke ngizonjani, uzobona ukuthi ngeke ngize ngenze. Then low esteem procrastinators, here willpower will do more harm kumuntu one-low self-esteem. You say, enza phela, and lo muntu vese akayithembi, akanamandla, wazi ukuthi mangenza lento something will go wrong, I'm going to mess up, it's going to be a problem, I'm not good enough. Because also again, people who are procrastinators that have low esteem is because amabazali babo, they were not pleased by what they do, and they taught them which when you are not good enough. So now when umuntu uzomforce ukuthi akasebenzise willpower, that will make them go straight to more low self-esteem. Because if befeyila uku-applya i-willpower, befeyila ukuthi bazenze ukuthi benze lento ababonayo ukuthi bazohluleka, then lokho kuzo-emphasize ukuthi you are a failure, you are not good enough. What were you thinking? You might as well kill yourself. You yabona nje uyabheda, ayikho into oyiphilelayo, ayikho nje into. And then uthola ukuthi umuntu double that much. That's why abanye uthola ukuthi baba depressed, abanye baze bayilimazi. Mase kube perfectionist, then you will power sebenza kanjani perfectionist. Perfectionist, well, these guys are already working a lot. Isikhulumile uza perfectionist ayasebenza. It's just that they never come to get to an end, because mase befika kwi end, it's not good enough, it needs to be done again. Umove usofa ube ngala usumuvile usushonisa ngala, nothing is ever good enough. So willpower will just be pointless here. It's not going to work because these people are workers, but it's just that they never get to the end result. Mese kuba material seekers, those people who say, I'm going to rest. I think I'm going to work for a deadline. And then when Master saying the deadline, then I'm gonna. So those people are just deceiving themselves, because you are doing 50% quality of work that you could have done 100%, because if you pass it means you could have done even better. So our material seekers, again, willpower is pointless. They are in this for it dopamine. Rush layer. Ubona umuntu ngabe thrill seeker akalala ebusuku until umsebenzi azawuqeda. Nami ngiyona thrill seeker, uma sengisebenza ngiyasebenza, kodwa uthola into esengizoyenza ngo last minute ngiyenze futhi ibe yinhle, kodwa kubona anginawo amandla, anginawo neability ukuthi ngiyenze kusanginesikhathi. And then mase kuba khona ama-equalizers. Ama-equalizer, these also is the same as the perfectionist, because these people also, they already working, it's just that they do wrong projects at the wrong time. Like everything is equal, they do wrong things. Oh, yini ungakuthona ungakushongo lo, hayi ngenza ukuthi nje bengisazoza khona, no bekufuna uqale ngalokho, hayi nalokho ngikubone kubalekile, angithi what. So and then mase kuba ke ama-addicts. These ama-addicts angisiyazi ukuthi bathanda ukushopha, bathanda lezi zinto ezimnandi, bazoshopha, bazobudlala ama-games. Ukuthi addict is basically an overcompensation for something missing in our lives. So gaining willpower won't address the root cause, only to create more frustration and need for more overcompensation. This can potentially turn to a disaster. So now when umuntu gamblisha idlala ama games, because khona lento asuke overcompensate. So now willpower izompusha lo muntu lo ukuthi le gap le ukuthi overcompensate lento overcompensate hayi, uthola ukuthi izovuleka, it's like ukumba umgodi. So it's not going to help this person. Not a single of these 9 types is dealing with an issue of willpower. Okay. In some cases, willpower could have an effect. Ingasizi willpower, but it is mostly fighting symptoms rather than root causes. So it means we need to go to ama root causes. So ngizowafunda ama notes because I want ukuthi ngiwafunde as ngiwabhalile and then ngize ngiqede. I'm not saying willpower is not important. Ngicela ukuthi laba bane willpower bangang misunderstand ukuthi oh, just because you encourage ama procrastinator then you suit willpower. No, if willpower is working for you, good, keep it up. Keep it up, it's good. That is where everybody wants to go. But we are talking about procrastinators, Lan. Procrastinators, yeah, willpower will work, but willpower is one of the most reliable indicators for success in life. So yes, by all means, do work on the willpower, but do not do willpower or use willpower to overcome a procrastination. That is what I'm saying, because it's going to damage you even more. With procrastinators, willpower is not the problem, but the problem is the temptation. The temptation is overwhelming. Njengoba sibonile ey'nganeni ukuthi laphana iy'ngane zivele zabantu no ngiwudla manje mina, but abanye akade bebene-willpower bebewazi ukuyi-distractor, abanye bahlale balibuka i-marshmallow, abanye uthola ukuthi bazolokhu bedlala benyakazisa izandla just as a point of distracting them. But ama-procrastinators, sometimes they don't have that ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi-distract because the temptation is bigger than i-willpower. So if you can look at the scale, ukuthi willpower incane, temptation tends to take a big weight and then it always drops and the willpower will always lose the battle. Non-procrastinators do not have more willpower than procrastinators. They are just less tempted than procrastinators, and this makes total sense. So if you can think about that, I know what as I'm talking about this, sometimes as a procrastinator, you need to think about it until it absorbs. Which we are dealing with a matter of a temptation. That is why I was saying to you, Hangi, when it's not an issue of a procrastinator, it's an issue of a problem that you were facing at the time. And procrastinating was a way of escaping for you, not that you are a procrastinator. Somebody can procrastinate just because he's being faced with a problem, and that thing, if it's a perceived danger, then you will procrastinate during that season of the thing. As we were discussing, Nohango would say he started procrastinating when he was faced with other things in Piloniak. So now it's an area which, okay, I don't want this kind of thing, so I might as well avoid you. Or if I will procrastinate, or because of my challenges and pain and now I don't like it discomfort, then I must as well put it later. Okay. So so as it, for it, Lea marshmallow experiments, kids didn't have more willpower. I guess those kids that did not have willpower, nanso ke sengibhala ama notes ami ke ubona mawubhala ama notes eseyakudida. Marshmallow kids that didn't have more willpower, I guess they just wanted it less. Okay, I know life isn't fair because the kids who wanted it less ended up getting too marshmallow. Yabona masikhuluma nge-temptation is about talking about ukuthi, okay, this thing is not important to me, it doesn't threaten me. But at the end of the day, those children were able to say, this thing doesn't tempt me, or I will distract myself, ended up getting more of those things engaba temptation. This is why kuthiwa umuntu othembeke intweni ezincane uzonikezwa even izinto ezinkulu azonikezwa zona as irresponsibility. This just coming out engqondweni yami ukuthi, you know what, uyifuna manje lento oyifunayo, but ekugcineni ngeke usayithola, ngeke uzuthole more. And procrastinators for us is like, you know what, there's a greater reward that is staying for us over there, but we might as well experience the pleasure now because I'm a procrastinator. It's like they are living in the moment, as we discussed before. It's like the pleasure must be now, even if there's disaster. I creating ukuthi bengakwazi ukulinda manje. So ukuthi umuntu uthanda ijoy manje, a procrastinate, a fail. Then sekuyinkinga futhi uthi ufailile, usebona othisha kuyibona unjust, athluleke ukuthatha futhi blame ukuthi ayithatha blame kube yakhe ukuthi, you know what, imina engizenze ukuthi ngifinyelele lana. So if you don't procrastinate, it means you are just less tempted. So why other people are more tempted than others? Okay, so yakhumbula ke leya iceberg analogy again, we'll always go back to it. Ukuthi nama drivers, there are genetics, ukuthi there are primary needs, ukuthi fanele sibe safe, fanele sidle, fanele si pleasure of sex, reproduce. So lower needs, they will always take primary. Ukuthi if I'm in danger, that means I need to be safe. Then Leo driver will we inspire you ukuthi wenze noma yini for you to be safe. Again, here we are talking about perceived danger in this time, in this generation esiphila kuyona. Ukuthi mostly people, they have perceived danger, not things that are dangerous really, but the things that the mind perceived as if they are dangerous. And also we have my experience with things that happen to us, we tend to record them and keep them. And if we see things that are familiar, if an analysis in this is experiencing isikhathi esikhula, we will tend to run away from those things and then do those things that we like, and what we don't like we will not do. And then mase kuba ma surroundings, ukuthi ama surroundings also will always inspire, will always have that inspiration. Take for instance, maskuluma about genetic, okay? So some people just like sweets. Sweet because some people like sweets more than others. And if ukhule ekhaya mhlambe kudliwa sweet, and you've been exposed to that and you like them, so omunye mangabe ngenandaba nawe engekho exposed yet akekho tempted kangako, but this one who likes sweet, sweet uzoba temptation again. So those are genes ukuthi genetically wena wakhiwe kanjani, what is it that you like, what is it that you are drawn to. Sometimes ke sifuna ukufighta izinto that are engineered kuthina, that are part of us. Uthola ukuthi umuntu spend the rest of his life or her life fighting indlela owayerisheke ngayo. Okay? And then masses of experience, how you have been wired, indlela owayerishwe ngayo ngenxa yezinto ezenzekile empilweni. Like what type of food did you eat when you're growing up? Sometimes as black people bathi abantu abamnyama bayakuthanda ukudla, but iqiniso lokuthi the time kade sikhule sidla ophutho, ma rice, sidla imfino. We grew up eating these things, and when we were growing up, abazali bethu bathi mawukhala nje athatha ibhodlela nje afake emlonyeni. Uyakhala ulambile, thatha ibhodlela fake emlonyeni. So thina we eat. And then imagine usumdala, you want to oppose this programming and this wiring, and you are using your willpower to change it. That is why you find yourself, you start today and you fail tomorrow. You start today, you fail tomorrow. You are looking, always chasing the next best thing. But in Kinga, you are just wanting to solve the symptom, but iruta silegion. Okay, because this thing is wired in ngqondweni. And then we talk about the surrounding, the environment, the death driver. We grew up eating carbs, and letting go might be a challenge. Environment. How was that? That's one of the my thing. Ugogo wami wayisho athi Thabisile wamaqopho kangaka uyalamba. Yini mawufikile emafarm athi uzofuna idla Thabisile idla funa ukuthi utelebhela khona nezinsizwa izokubona. So those are the things that have been said to us, and they created our beliefs. Like for instance, when you say something that I'm working very hard on, ukuthi mangibuka umuntu ngithi ushada nini, because it's been wired to me ukuthi ukuzuphelele funa ukuthi ushade. But goodness, is not everybody who wants to get married, and also getting married is not a solution. You can't live a happy life as a single person. It's just that we have anchored these things in our system. Ukuthi, you know what, you need to have a person in your life, but it doesn't have to be a necessity. Yeah, but if we can also elevate, you can live as a single person, ukhule nje ube mdala, not even having had sex. Yeah, ngoba kwesisikhathi zakho uyozufe uyigcinile lento ihambi yodliwa intuthane. That's a lie. Intuthane, I don't think intuthane ziyakwazi ukubona le is because azange lale nomuntu le, so le no juice omningi le. Ingqondo zabantu nje meaningless. So those are the things that we need to change, because they've been wired for generations and generations and generations. So willpower is causing so much internal friction that it ends up damaging telomeres. People who are talking about DNA, ukuthi DNA khona le part telomere kuthiwa the more sikhula, the more zincipha lezi zinto, and the more isiba shorter, that means kusho ukuthi that your lifespan is the shorter they are, the shorter your life. Okay, so now when you're using your willpower, kakul is like, I will do this thing, but I'm suffering at the same time because ngifuna kubonakala ukuthi lento ngiyayenza, but I'm not enjoying it. Ngiyayenza lento kodwa I feel like this is a perceived danger. Ngizoya kula phakathi kwalaba abantu kodwa ngithanda ukuba khona because I'm supposed to be there. Even right now as I'm speaking, I'm thinking what there are things that I don't like doing, but I ended up forcing myself to do because I'm thinking it's the right thing to do. But I'm forcing myself to not enjoy my life and cause myself to suffer in the process and shortening my life, because imagine every time you go to work, you don't enjoy your work and you are causing suffering in every day. What happens into your life? Okay, so what do we do, Gek? If willpower is not the solution, what is it? A solution, motivation. Okay, so motivation is the solution. I used to see people like DJ, for an example. Many people, those people and many other people, they will wake up and go by 7 ebusuku. I'm talking about my husband. He will go and be a DJ like in the early days of our life, even right now, Suoane, Lapaka Highway. Or he will go there not being paid, but he will do umsebenzi passionately. Because why? Uvuka ebusuku usaza ngo-12 ebusuku ngalezo ikhathi wayesaza ngo-12 uze uyoshawa 6. Athi I have this passion. I see him, my husband, ethi mayikhulekela abantu akhulekela umuntu oyedwa, amnikeza ingqondo yakhe yonke nenhliziyo yakhe yonke, amsiza umuntu, athi omunye mayifika athi hey Suoane, you are wasting time. You are wasting time, taking so much time ngomuntu oyedwa. Why don't you do a corporate prayer and pray for everybody? But iqiniso lokuthi my husband is motivated when he attends abantu ngendlela asuke attenda ngayo. Sometimes he will live here etukhathele, afike esontweni asebenze lushoni ilanga, mase ukhathele mayisebuyele ekhaya ufike uyalala uthi ukhathele. Ngithi mina ukukhathala bese kushonephi is because he's motivated. So now, like for me also, what I do is like there are things that I will do and write. I love to write. I'm motivated when I'm writing. And when I have to do something else, I want to say, oh, so postpone. I realize those things that I'm postponing is because I'm not enjoying them and there's a perceived danger. So now I have that awareness that I have, man. Okay, what are the things? Ntokozo usizolo ngiye ngahlala ngibhala ngahlala kusukela ekseni kwaze kwashaya u5 kwacaca ukuthi ngiphapha ukuthi u5 awe mangilokho ngihlele ehlaleni esodwa ngiyasebenza anginakile and isikhathi siyagijima. I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing. So now sometimes we can say kubantu uyenzelani into ukuthi kanti umuntu leyo nto iyammotivate, and you spend your time moving somebody from something that gives them life, something that motivates them because you want them to do what you want them to do. I think by realizing this, we need to leave people to do what they like. I remember one scenario, this woman was irritated to umyeni wakhe uyahamba ayodlala neband, and she will give him a tough time ukuthi wena uyangishiya la endlini neyingane uhamba uyodlala neband laphayana enawunginaki. And then this person who was talking to this woman, she says, what will motivate your husband to come to a house when you are like this? Because there is no motivation. When you are angry like this, you are always seeing something wrong. What do you think will motivate him to come and sit with someone who always sees into wrong again? Masesethi ebuza indoda leyana ukuthi, why do you like music that much, even noma umnkosikazi wakhe ngathi akathandi? What makes you ukuthi want to say rebel manje? He's rebelling because this person is telling her to stop something that he loves, something that gives him life. Not necessarily cheating, but to a woman it's like cheating because he's not giving me time, because we have different needs. I think one day we'll have to talk about needs that drive us, which is behaving, and then he asked this man, what does music mean to you? He says, it's like, I feel like a god. I feel alive. And then he says to this woman, you want this man to stop doing something that makes him feel alive and come and stay with you while you are making him suffocate? Is there any sense, Glock? For me, when I was listening to that, and then I understood. But sometimes when a husband or a wife, whoever, I'm not just being biased here, but whoever, nabantwana bethu, when they go and do what they do, is because they are motivated. And motivation is the biggest drive. And now I just want to talk to you as I'm laying it here, because next time we'll talk about strategies. Okay, you know what? You are going through this work, you don't like it. It makes you suffer. How about looking for a new career that will motivate you? I know ukuthi njoba sikhuluma ngo DJ ukuthi there are people who do things that are not being paid for, but they can do it forever because they like and they enjoy. There's that joy, there's that passion, there's that fun that comes. And when you do something that you like, you don't procrastinate. It's like you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. How about getting a career that will be aligned with what you like? That when you wake up in the morning, this career fulfills you. But the truth is, majority of people are doing things that do not motivate them, and they are slaves. That is why we have a nation like this, a world like this, people who are just releasing waves of unsatisfaction, of complaint, of bitterness. How about abanye is like, it's too late. I've been working here. Abanye is like, I don't know what to do. Now, if you don't know what to do, I do understand. Changing a career could not be a quick fix thing. But next time on Monday, I will be telling you now. Next Monday, it will be last session. I thought we were going to be able to finish this, but I see what as since included even if video namhlanje. So Monday, then we will talk about other hacks, techniques that we can use. Because even no mukwana lo msebenzi, but you can change your life when it comes to procrastinate. Because procrastinating, even in in work, it means you don't like your job. Even if you can tell yourself ukuthi uyawuthanda, but iqiniso lokuthi awuthandi. Take a teacher, for instance, who went to be a teacher just because wayifuna umsebenzi. Take a nurse, for instance, who went to be a nurse because wayifuna umsebenzi. Take udokotela who became a doctor just because efuna umsebenzi. Buku Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom, he said, I became a doctor because I was fulfilling my father's dream. But I decided to pursue my dream of becoming a singer, and look what he's doing with Dream Yakhe. It didn't say it's too late. What about the 7 years that I've spent ngifunda? He didn't look at it like that, and he started pursuing his dream, and he's nailing it, and he is doing the greatest job, becoming the best singer of the lifetime. So now, yeah. So now let us leave it there for today. I know what you are looking forward to hear, what should you do, but think about this information that we've talked about. Let go of willpower, understand ama drivers. Think about that marshmallow test. For me, when I think about it, I'm seeing myself. Oh, okay. That means there are things that I need to go kuzona engqondweni yami. My emotions rather than to force myself to change and willpower, because I'm only dealing with my symptoms, not the root. So may the Lord bless you. Every Monday, one of the things that I do is meditation, because meditation is also helps to deal with things like this. And look at me, I'm so confident. I like myself much, and I love what I've become through meditation. So if you want to join me 5 o'clock from Monday to Saturday, please join me lapha ku Thabisile Msomi page, and we do also share it la ku car radio uzoshintsha impilo yakho yabona, and teach yourself and rewire your mind and become a new person. Unless you become a new person, you will not, unless you are born again, become a totally new person, you will never see the kingdom of God. So if you want to see the kingdom of God, it means we need to become people that we are not manje. Become new people. Egameni lika Jesu. Nanso into yami ngasafuni ukuvuleka ke. So sizophuma ngeculo ke manje lapha yango Queen of the Palace ethini othi ngibothi sizokhuluma sithini. Yeah, uzothi uthandiwe nawe, just to drill that in. But you know what? You might be having that problem, you're procrastinator, but you know what? Uthandiwe now. Don't stress about it. Just take this information, gain the knowledge, and then do something, but don't stress about it. Don't condemn yourself. You are good. You are beautiful. You are perfect. Just be happy to be yourself. In Jesus' name, amen. So sizophuma ngeculo ke manje. Ethi nothi ngibona.
Yathatha konke kungokwayo, yashaya yachitha, yashaya yachitha.